Hooty hoo, all my listing legends. Welcome today. I'm Tall Mike. So glad you're here. Today I want to talk about real estate miracles. Yes, miracles still happen today. I know they happened back in the biblical times, but miracles are still going on today. And if you're in real estate, you might be needing a miracle today. Well, I want to talk about one. It's a couple that I have I'm going to talk about, but this one, it started with Rick and Susan. Rick approached me to find a house for him and Susan. All right, so we went house searching and we found many houses. Well, we looked at them, right? But they weren't excited about them. They weren't that excited about them, just like a normal customer, right? Normal client. You went and showed them houses. Okay, well, they finally find one they like. And I mean, it's a beauty, right? It's listed for $799,000. Now, this goes back a while. Today, it'd be listed a lot more in my area, but it was $799,000. I remember it. And I knew that there were going to be a lot of offers put in on it. And I told them, I go, look, you're going to have to bid higher than the asking price to get the property. But they were going, okay, we'll bid higher. We'll go $800,000. I go, I don't think that's going to get it. I just don't think it's going to get it. Anyway, so back then, we actually presented the offers in person. It was really weird back then. Now we just send them in over email, them the offer, and they'll send it back to us, and you either got it or you didn't, right? But back then, we'd sit down with them. I'd be the broker, and I'd go in and I'd meet with the listing agent and the buyer, and I sat down there. And anyways, before I left, I told Rick and Susan, well, I'm going to present it at 2 o'clock today. And Susan goes, oh, that's great. I'll be saying a prayer at that time. And I thought, well, that was great. We can sure use a prayer, right? All right. So I went and presented this offer. And anyways, they asked me, after I presented the offer, went through all the details, told them we're offering $800,000. And well, anyways, it was at $799. They go, well, okay, can you tell me about the buyers? I go, well, they're the nicest couple you ever want to meet. Right now, Susan is in deep prayer because she knows I'm presenting the offer at 2 o'clock. And, I looked at the owner. He didn't say anything. He didn't mention anything to me, but he kind of looked at me up when I said that, and anyways, the agent, I just went on and I continued to present my offer, right? Not even thinking about it, but I don't normally talk that way using the word deep prayer, but it was weird, right? It was a weird moment and you could feel it. You could feel that something was off at that time. Anyways, I went and I presented and, they had 12 offers coming in, 12 offers. I just pretty much wrote it off. I said, well, I went back to Rick and Susan, reported to them. Well, I've presented it, and they got 12 offers. And according to the agent, they're all over asking price. And Susan goes, I just know we're going to get it. I go, well, I don't want to disappoint you, Susan, but I'm not sure we're going to get it, right? Well, anyways, it was not that day. It was the next day. The next day, the agent, she called me up and she goes, Mike, I don't understand. I just don't understand what happened. And I go, what are you talking about? She goes, the seller wants to sell the house to your clients. I go, that's great. She goes, no, you don't understand. The lowest offer was $850. There were some as high as $900,000. He wants to sell it to Susan and Rick at $800,000, $100,000 below the price he could get. I don't get it. I asked him why, and he said, because God told me to. God told me to. This is a true story. I don't believe it myself, but it happened. It was a true story. And Susan and Rick, they got the property. Now, I'm not a big religious guy. Yeah, I'm a Christian. And yes, I believe in miracles. And I believe that day there was a miracle. I believe that. All right, let's move forward to the next one I'm going to tell you about. Now, I've had several of these. I can't put them all on this video, but I've had several of these miracles that actually happened to me. Okay, so I'm going to be talking about this other one. I'm showing a property, right? I'm showing a lot of properties. I showed this couple, his name was Andrew Park. Still remember him, right? Okay, so anyways, I showed him, it must have been at least 20 properties. And we put in a couple of offers along the way. And, a couple of those offers got accepted, but they backed out. All right, one of them I remember. It was a house that was right up against the freeway. And I made them go put their hands on the retaining wall. I said, Andrew, look it. This is a freeway right behind us. It's a freeway, and you can feel each car as it would go by, right, as your hands on the retaining wall. That was their backyard. I go, I don't think you want this house. They go, no. We really want the house. We really want the house. And they wrote this love letter to the seller and telling them what a great couple they were and how they were raising a little baby. And their offer got accepted, and then it was like, it was great, we were all celebrating. But then I get a call 3 days later from Andrew saying, Mike, we don't want the property. I go, well, why not? And they go, well, it's on the freeway. And I was just surprised. I go, well, Andrew, I told you it's on the freeway. But anyways, it was a little frustrating, so I had to get him out of that. And the other agent, she was upset. She actually moved her staging out of the property, but they still had some, contingencies to remove, so they got out of it without any penalties. But she had to bring her staging back in to get the house to sell. Well, I showed them some more properties, and we made another offer, and they backed out of that on the very next day. So they were a little wishy-washy, but I kept working with the couple because I liked them. They were nice people, right? They were nice people, and they knew some friends that I knew, and so it was a referral, and I wanted to be, everything to go well. And anyways, long story short, I was out there in a group of people, and they asked if I was going to the party at Andrew's house. I go, no, I didn't get invited. What party's that? They go, well, they're having their new housewarming party. I go, well, that's not possible. He told me he's taking a break from shopping for houses, but he went out and used another agent and bought a house. Now, you all know how that feels as a real estate agent, right? I mean, it's like a knife right through your heart. It's just, you were working hard, and then he goes and buys from another agent. That was just, it just broke my heart. It really did, right? Really did. And, I was so depressed. I mean, obviously I didn't get invited to the party, but anyways, I went home that day after talking with my group of friends where I learned about Andrew had bought a house from another agent. I went home and I'm all depressed. I'm sitting around, the phone rings. And, hey, I answer the phone. He goes, hey, Mike. Yeah, this is Mike. I go, hey, it's Andrew. I go, and I'm all bummed out. I go, hey, Andrew, how's it going? And he goes, oh, man, it's going good. I'd like you to come over and list my house for me. I'm going, what do you mean? I thought you bought a house. And he goes, no, I own a house. I want you to come over and list it for me. It was a completely different Andrew. Completely different. Okay, so I was working with Andrew Park, P-A-R-K. The day I find out that Andrew Park had stabbed me in the back and went and bought a house from another agent, I get a call from Andrew that I've never met before, and his name was Andrew Pear, P-A-R-E, off by one letter, a K versus an E, P-A-R-E. P-A-R-K. And he wants me to come over and list his house. Unbelievable. I went over that night, I listed it, and we had an offer within 3 days. Unbelievable, right? I mean, it just God protected me in a very strange way. I went from this low point to this high exhilarated point. Okay, I didn't get Andrew Park. I showed him at least 20 properties, and this one was the easiest sale I ever made for more money than I was going to make with Andrew Park. It's a miracle, right? Now, these happen throughout your real estate career. Now, if you're new, you're probably haven't had one yet. But if you stay in the real estate business, these miracles happen. You have to keep believing, though. You have to actually expect the miracles to show up, because they will show up. They showed up for me. In another episode, I'll tell you another couple of the miracles. But yeah, I call these miracles. Now, people go, Mike, that's just coincidence. And maybe it was, and I'm okay with that. You call it coincidence. I call it a miracle. I cash the commission checks, and that's all that mattered to me. Anyways, if you like this episode, give me a thumbs up. If you want to learn my system about the listing legend, just go to listinglegend.com. I'll give you the system for free. Maybe some miracles will happen to you. We'll see how that plays out, but just put your name and email in there. I'll send you the system. I'm Tall Mike. Get out there and get some listings. Bye-bye now.